Hey, what's going on guys, Ace here, and today we are going to do something different in addition to reviewing episode 9 and comparing it to the manga. We are going to try and speculate or theorize about the possibility of Blue Lock getting retconned in the Blu-Ray release. And also I'll be addressing a rumor as well as some news regarding this season, and so buckle up. But first, we gotta start with the trusty review. Now, I immediately gotta say, I hate this shit. I really do. And it's not the episode's fault. I think episode 9 was really great, the pacing was amazing, and honestly, I loved it more than I thought. But man, it made me realize that I am fiending for some good quality Blue Lock content, that I am fiending for a great production for this season. Because frankly, we've been getting clobbered by that production, and I'm just wishing upon a star. Why can't we keep this good level of production when it comes to the moving parts or the sports part? Like the actual damn game. Seriously guys, this wrecks me from the inside. Like you could actually see how great this shit would have been had it not been for that disastrous production. And I understand animating moving characters is really hard, but come on. Why couldn't they just take their damn time and give us this level of production consistently throughout the season? But honestly, enough bashing Blue Lock, we've done it many times before. For now, let's just get to the review of episode 9 and compare it to the manga. And by the way, this review is going to be short and we will be getting to the theory right after it. And also, it goes without saying, there will be no spoilers in this video. And as always, we will be starting by answering the question of how many chapters did this episode actually cover. And as always, once more, it covered 4. Chapter 122, 123, 124, and 125. But this time, since most of these chapters aren't really sports and they are not packed with action, they actually included few panels from chapter 126. And I love this because the episode ends exactly right before the start of the action, which means episode 10 would start with the kickoff of the second half. Now, as I said, since the episode covered the events from the manga faithfully, we are going to skip a lot, starting straight with the whole introduction part between Rin and Sai, as well as the parents reacting to their kids, and jump straight to this conversation, which actually was quite different from the manga for some reason. In the original source, it was the manager who went to the head of the Japanese Football Association and asked him to give him an advice on what to do, because the manager can't think of anything. And there the head of the association tells him to get Shidou in, which shakes the manager to the core because this means they admitted that ego was right at the end. And only after the manager stated this, that the head of the association gave his speech about the winners being law and the losers being nothing or even criminals. If you notice, this is in complete contradiction with what happened before in their conversation with Sai, since they allowed him to bring Shidou or anyone he wants. And Shidou did not actually play because of Aiko's deal with Sai. However, in the anime they actually corrected the whole thing, which I gotta say is freaking wonderful. I understand these small plot holes really don't matter, but it is a plus when they get corrected, and I have a feeling that the writer had a hand in this. In any case, in the anime, the head of the association tells the manager that it doesn't matter how they do it, they just need to win. And this is in line with what they said to Sai before, since all they care about is making a big match and not give ego any power. They never really cared about what's wrong and right, and rather it was Aiko who made them backtrack after making that deal with Sai. And here, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I actually was depressed. I understand this is a wonderful thing, and I should be happy, right? But no, this means that the studio is capable of freaking understanding the show. Yet in the action episodes, the studio completely fumbles what's right or wrong for the story, like skipping Sai's dribbling and giving us the Japanese Spider-Man scene with him. It really shows if they gave their animators or producers enough time, they would have gotten this season so right, especially with the amazing art style and the great pacing they have been having ever since episode 4. But we will talk about this later. For now, there is something else that I think is good. So for those who didn't read the manga, they actually separated this conversation from the U20 locker room talk, since in the original source it happened as soon as Aiko announced that Shidou will be playing. In fact, they even flipped the order of the scenes, since in the manga it starts with the U20 team reaction and Sai leaving, then moves to the Blue Lock 11 side of things. However, here it starts with this one, and even though it was the same as in the manga, they actually cut a very crucial scene, and I understood why they changed the conversation before. But why did they cut this one? I mean, for us manga readers, this scene actually spoiled something that will be happening in the game, and I would have loved the fact that they cut it, but since the opening already alluded to it, I think they should have just included such an important scene. I'm talking about Baro's death stare here. You see, where everyone was happy with the results, only one man was looking the 11 players that made it with a nasty look. Baro Shoei. Because to the king, a win is meaningless unless it's him scoring and it's him dominating. To us manga readers, this kinda confirmed that he will be playing in the second half, but they skipped it in the anime for some reason, and it's really annoying because it shows how different he is from the rest, which is so important to why he will actually play. And as I said, it's not like they are spoiling anything, since he freaking shows in the opening with Nagi, Bachura and Shidou, all three players destined for greatness in this game, in addition to of course Rin, Isagi, Sai and Aiko. Now, most of you know that Baro is my favorite character, but would you believe me if I said this did not make me as angry as I thought? And that's simply because what they skipped next is so more infuriating. So, the scene of Sai and the U20 players was the same as in the manga. Although I gotta say it looked far more alive in the anime, especially with the amazing voice acting. But man, what they did to my boy Shidou, it's so rage fueling. They skipped over this iconic scene from the manga. Like seriously, these demonic, draconic winds are so iconic. It's really mind-boggling to me why they skipped such an insanely important and moment-defining scene. Like what the actual hell? Can't we get good things till the end, man? And honestly, looking at it, it wouldn't have been even hard to do or anything. It's one frame with the aura in the shape of winds, which I can do in After Effects, like come on. And by the way, people were angry at Sai's face here too, but I really did not care. It's a goofy scene, so who cares? I just wanted my demon boy to have his moment. Is that too much to ask? Seriously, is that too much to ask? And you might be thinking this is just one scene, but this has great implication. Because this honestly scares the shit out of me of what they will do to him during the game. Which I mean, at this point we came to expect that they will butcher every play. However, Shidou is so important to this game, they really can't do him dirty. However, these are the only real differences from the manga. The final scene of Rin, Isagi and Shidou talk was from chapter 126 and it was the same. So let's actually move on to talk about the production of the episode in general and why it's so depressing to me. First, let's talk about the pacing, which I gotta say was amazing. With the exception of these two damn scenes they cut off, everything was right and everything looked great. And as I said, some scenes like Sai interacting with the U20 team was really better in the anime than the manga. Like the different shots, the OST, the voice acting, it really was fun to watch. And credits when it's due, the studio really excels in these scenes. These slice of life sequences, like Bachura's mom interacting with Isagi's parents, are really well done because the studio is so used to them due to the type of anime it usually produces. However, my problem with this whole thing, the studio really showed its ability to handle sports anime with Blue Lock Season 1 Part 1. It was so well made that I honestly fell in love instantly with Blue Lock. Or better yet, with the Nagi scene in this season, which in addition to Chigiri's sprint in episode 2 and Rin's special shots were the highlights of this shit show. In fact, Nagi's goal was so outwardly that it really made me happy, but sad at the same time, because it made me wish every goal we've seen would have been with that level. Which actually brings us to talk about the possibility of this season to be retconned in the Blu-ray release. And I don't mean the whole season, I honestly wouldn't care if they just do the goals right or impactful moments like Sai's dribbling. Now, honestly, we have no confirmation for this, but given the huge amount of backlash this season received, I mean even the official account of the NFL complained about it, it's not that far-fetched to think that it might get retconned in the Blu-ray release. And this should be especially true for such a beloved series as Blue Lock. Fans really weren't happy with this level of production, and they really made it clear. And I'm really sure it reached the production committee, or whoever is responsible for this abomination of production. And because us the fans did not stop talking about it, it gives me hope that they might look into it. And the idea of episodes being retconned isn't far-fetched. Again, just from the fact that Blue Lock was the best-selling manga in 2023 and 5th in 2024 means there is a huge amount of money to be made in the adaptation, especially if done right. And if the studio is as greedy as the animator that quit said it was, I think they might actually look at this. Look at the well of the money that can be still made. Then look at the backlash and the fact that they need to clear their name, and they might surprise us with completely different episodes in the Blu-ray release. As I said, maybe not the whole episodes, but at least, please, the critical moments and goals can be reanimated to actually look as good as Nagi's goal. And I know this might seem as hopium or even copium to you guys, but think about it. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 got many of its critical moments and fights retconned in the Blu-ray release, despite the fact that it actually was amazing to begin with. And I honestly believe Blue Lock deserves it more since it honestly was butchered in this production. Now, do I know any of this for a fact? No. But if I were in charge of this, I would look at it this way. It is actually profitable and the right thing to do, which is rare to say the least. And so tell me guys, what do you think of this whole thing? And if you think it is even possible, or hey, if I am being delusional, please tell me. And finally, I want to address the rumor that there is one animator working on this show, because this shit is so dumb, I don't know where to begin with. Just take a look at the end of every damn episode. You would see a whole team animating this season. This is not a problem with the animators themselves, because I truly think if given enough time, they'd do an amazing job. It's honestly the production committee's fault, who did not give their animators any time or resources to begin with. And besides, it is humanly impossible for someone to animate a whole episode in 1 week. Even if it is this poorly animated junk, that's just not possible. However, that's all I've got for you today guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and please let me know what do you think of my theory of this season getting retconned in the Blu-ray release. But with that, until next time, thank you for watching.